Have you ever noticed that leading other people becomes 10 times harder when you haven't first learned to lead yourself? In today's episode, How to Lead Yourself First, 5 Self-Discipline Habits. Every new leader needs, we're breaking down the exact habits that build internal discipline. The kind of discipline that makes people trust you, follow you, and model themselves after you. Let's get into it. Leadership brings many challenges. You will guide people with different personalities, temperaments, fears, strengths, insecurities, and ambitions. You will navigate pressure, expectations, deadlines, setbacks, change, and conflict. You will carry invisible responsibilities that most people around you will never fully understand. But none of those challenges compare to the most important leadership responsibility you will ever face: leading yourself. Your discipline determines your credibility. Your consistency determines your influence. Your habits determine your leadership identity. Your inner world determines your outer impact. You cannot build disciplined teams without building a disciplined you. You cannot inspire consistency without demonstrating consistency. You cannot expect accountability without embodying accountability. People do not rise to the level of your intention. They rise to the level of your example. And nothing elevates your example more than self-discipline. Self-discipline is not punishment. It's not restriction. It's not self-denial. It's not rigidity. It's not perfection. Self-discipline is self-leadership. Your ability to guide yourself, stay aligned with the identity you want to embody, and show up even when convenience, comfort, or emotion try to pull you off course. And here's the truth. You don't become a leader when you get a title. You become a leader the moment you learn how to lead yourself. So today, we're breaking down 5 self-discipline habits that every new leader needs. The habits that build consistency, stability, credibility, and identity. The habits that create the type of leader people want to follow. Not because they have to, but because they respect the standard you set. Let's dive in. Habit number 5. Choose your standards the night before. Not in the morning. Most people try to build discipline in the moment. They try to wake up and feel ready. They try to begin their day by asking themselves what the day requires. But emotional decision-making destroys discipline. Why? Because your mornings are emotional. Your mornings are influenced by energy, mood, sleep quality, stress, deadlines, and unexpected interruptions. You cannot build consistent leadership when you build your plan based on how you feel. Disciplined leaders do something different. They decide their standards the night before. Your self-discipline begins when your day ends. When you choose your priorities before you sleep, you eliminate decision fatigue. You eliminate emotional excuses. You eliminate morning hesitation. When you wake up already knowing exactly what matters most, your discipline skyrockets. Here's why this principle works. 1. It creates pre-commitment. You don't feel out your day. You execute a standard you already set. 2. It prevents emotional negotiation. If you decide in the morning, you will negotiate. If you decide at night, you will execute. 3. It forces clarity. You cannot lead yourself without clarity. You cannot lead others without clarity. Your leadership discipline begins the moment you choose intentionality over impulse. Try this tonight. Write down 3 things. 1 thing you must finish. 1 thing you must honor. 1 way you must show up. Then follow it the next day without negotiating. Discipline begins before the sun comes up. It begins when you decide who you will be tomorrow. Leadership mindset reflection. Where are you leaving your discipline up to emotion? What 1 standard can you decide tonight so that tomorrow requires less negotiation and more execution? Habit number 4. Remove friction between you and the habits you want to build. The biggest threat to discipline isn't lack of motivation. It's too much friction. Friction is anything that makes your discipline harder. Too many steps. Too much clutter. Too many temptations. Too many decisions. Too much confusion. Too many interruptions. Disciplined leaders don't try to be stronger than friction. They eliminate friction. They simplify the pathway between intention and action. If you want to become more self-disciplined, don't increase pressure. Decrease friction. Examples. If you want to read in the morning, put the book on your pillow at night. If you want to drink more water, put the bottle next to your bed. If you want to prepare for a meeting, pre-open the file the night before. If you want to work out, set your clothes out. If you want to plan your day, keep a notepad on the desk, not hidden in a drawer. If you want better presence, leave your phone in another room. If you want more reflection time, schedule it on your calendar. Friction kills discipline. Remove the friction, and discipline becomes natural. You don't need more willpower. You need fewer obstacles. Discipline is not about squeezing harder. It's about designing smarter. Leadership mindset. Reflection. What is one habit you want to build? And what friction can you remove today that would make that habit easy instead of forced? Habit number 3. Keep promises to yourself. This builds internal credibility. Here's a leadership truth most people ignore. You cannot lead people confidently when you do not trust yourself privately. And nothing destroys self-trust faster than broken commitments to yourself. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," or "I'll start tomorrow," or "I don't feel like it," you weaken your internal leadership identity. Self-discipline begins with self-integrity. Leaders with discipline do something that most people never master. They keep the promises they make to themselves. Even small ones. Even invisible ones. Even ones no one else would notice. Why? Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen the identity. I am someone who follows through. And every time you break a promise to yourself, you strengthen the identity. I am someone who doesn't finish what I start. Your identity is shaped by your follow-through. So here's the mindset shift. It doesn't matter if the commitment is small. It matters that you honor it. Discipline is not born from intensity. Discipline is born from integrity. Start with small promises. I will drink 1 glass of water before checking my phone. I will take 5 minutes of silence before my first meeting. I will complete the task I least want to do before noon. I will show up on time. I will end my workday by choosing tomorrow's top 3 priorities. I will follow through, even when it's inconvenient. Self-discipline is not a performance. It's a relationship with yourself. Leadership mindset. Reflection. What's one promise you can make and keep today that would reinforce your self-trust? Habit number 2. Create a personal standard, higher than the job requires. Managers follow expectations. Leaders follow identity. Self-discipline becomes powerful when your personal standard is higher than your external requirement. Anyone can meet expectations. Disciplined leaders exceed expectations because their personal standard demands it. This is the difference. A person who follows expectations asks, "What do I need to do?" A leader who follows identity asks, "Who do I want to be in this situation?" Your identity creates self-discipline because it gives you a fixed reference point. It eliminates confusion. It anchors you in behavior even when motivation disappears. It gives you a standard that doesn't fluctuate with mood or stress. Most people behave based on energy. Disciplined leaders behave based on standard. Your personal standard becomes your leadership signature. Examples of personal standards. I don't miss deadlines. I finish what I start. I lead with calm energy. I speak respectfully even when frustrated. I do difficult things without complaint. I prepare before I perform. I choose responsibility over excuses. I don't let small problems grow into big ones. I manage myself before I manage others. When your standard is higher than the environment's expectation, you become a leader people want to follow because they see the discipline. Discipline is visible. Standards are visible. Identity is visible. And followership grows from what people see, not what you say. Leadership mindset reflection. What personal standard, if raised, would elevate your leadership identity this week? And what would it look like to live that standard consistently? Habit number 1. Take daily ownership of your choices. Discipline begins with radical responsibility. This is the ultimate self-discipline principle. You are responsible for your behavior, even when you're not responsible for the circumstances. This is the difference between people who want to lead and people who are leaders. Disciplined leaders do not wait for motivation. Disciplined leaders do not wait for ideal conditions. Disciplined leaders do not wait for the right moment. Disciplined leaders do not outsource responsibility to excuses, frustration, or environment. Disciplined leaders say, I choose my actions. I choose my habits. I choose my energy. I choose my preparation. I choose my response. Ownership is not about blame, it's about power. The moment you say, I can choose my behavior regardless of what's happening around me, you become the most powerful version of yourself. Ownership builds discipline because it eliminates escape routes. You stop saying, I'm tired. I wasn't motivated. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it. I couldn't get to it. And you start saying, I choose how I show up. I choose how I respond. I choose my priorities. I choose my standards. I choose my follow-through. Ownership transforms you from reactive to intentional, from overwhelmed to centered, from inconsistent to reliable, from developing leader to trusted leader. Discipline begins the moment you stop negotiating with excuses and start owning your identity. This is how you lead yourself first. Leadership mindset. Reflection. Where have you been waiting for conditions to improve instead of taking ownership of your response? What is one action you can own today that would strengthen your leadership identity immediately? Leadership Mindset Challenge. This week, choose one of the 5 habits and practice it for the next 48 hours. Then ask yourself, what changed in my behavior? And what changed in the way people responded to me? Leadership influence grows from the inside out. Lead yourself with discipline, and others will trust you with leadership. If this episode strengthened your leadership identity and sharpened your discipline, please follow and subscribe to Leadership Mindset Daily, then share it with someone who is committed to becoming a stronger leader. This is Leadership Mindset Daily. Mindset matters. Leadership matters. You matter. Follow Leadership Mindset Daily on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and X for your daily dose of proven leadership development tips, tricks, and techniques. See you tomorrow.